Hello everyone. In this video we'll be seeing how to work with checkboxes in Android, and we'll be seeing this particular example where we have two checkboxes, vanilla and strawberry. Okay. If nothing is selected, what's your flavor will be displayed. If I'm selecting the checkbox vanilla, it will display me vanilla has been selected. If I'm choosing both of the checkbox, it will show me vanilla as well as strawberry. If I'm only choosing strawberry, it will display me strawberry. If I'm choosing none of the checkboxes, then it will display me what's your flavor. So we'll proceed with the coding. Studio, we'll click on Start New Android Studio Project. This will open a Android Studio project window. I'll give the name of the application I'm giving as checkbox example. I'll click next. I'll choose the API level as 15 because it will target 100% of the Android devices in the market. I'll click next. We'll choose the empty activity. Then next. Activity name I'll leave as at default, that is main activity, and I'll click on finish. So it will start creating the project. It may take a few moments for creating the project. So firstly we'll create a UI part. So for creating a UI part, we'll move to activity underscore main.xml file. So over here we'll be creating our UI part. So by default it is having a constraint layout. For our convenience, we'll change it to relative layout. So firstly I'll change it to relative layout. So I'll select this particular portion and I'll make it as a relative layout. So now our layout is relative layout. I do not require this text, so I'll select it and I'll hit delete button to delete it. We want to work with checkboxes, so I'll drag and drop a checkbox over here and I'll rename the text available over here. Okay, for that we'll be go to the text view section, text, I'll rename it to vanilla. Now the text available is vanilla. I'll change the text size. For this we'll go to the text size and we'll choose the size as 30 sp. We'll use another checkbox, so I'll drag and drop another checkbox. I'll make it to the center. Text available is checkbox. I'll change it to strawberry and I'll change the text size to 30 sp. Now we'll display the selection. For displaying the selection we need text view, so I'll choose a text from the palette section and from there I'll choose a text view. We'll drag and drop the text view over here and I'll put the initial text over there. For that I'll be giving what's your flavor. I'll change the text size, so for that I'll go to the text size attributes and I'll change it to 40 sp. Okay, I think it's very large, so I'll make it as a 30 sp. I'll change the color. For that I'll go to the text color section. I'll click on the three dots available over here and I'll choose hollow orange dark from there. Hollow orange dark, I'll press OK. So we are done with the UI part. Now we'll move to the functionality part. So for creating our functionality part, we'll move to the main activity.java file. So I'll click on main activity.java file. Over here, under onCreate function, we'll create another user defined function which will help us to provide our functionality, that is displaying our selection. So I'll create a function, use public void, and I'll name the function as display choice, and I'll pass the parameter as view and object of view class. Over here it is showing an error, so I'll hit Alt plus enter. Sorry. I need to communicate with first checkbox whose ID is checkbox. I need to communicate with the second checkbox whose ID is checkbox 2, and I need to communicate with text view whose ID is text view. So in main activity.java, firstly we'll get the reference of these three elements. So for getting the reference of first checkbox, we'll be creating an object of checkbox class. So checkbox, an object of that class, equals to checkbox, and then find view by ID. I'll use the ID of the first checkbox, which is checkbox. So r dot id dot checkbox. Same way I'll get the reference of the second checkbox. So checkbox, I'll create an object for that, and then typecasting, find view by ID. I'll use the ID of the second checkbox, so r dot id dot checkbox 2, and for getting the reference of the text view, I'll use text view text view, and then find view by ID, r dot id, and the ID of the text box, which is text view. So we have got the reference of the three elements. Next, we'll apply a if condition to check whether the first checkbox is selected, or whether the second checkbox is selected, or whether the both of the checkbox are selected. So I'll use control statement called as if else if. So if checkbox is checked, so this function will return whether our checkbox is checked or not, and it will return as a boolean value, that is either true or a false. If the checkbox is checked, it will return as a true value, and if the checkbox is not checked, it will return as a false value. I'll use AND operator. Checkbox 1 dot is checked. It will check whether the first checkbox is checked as well as the second checkbox is checked too. If both of the checkboxes are checked, I'll set the text view to vanilla and strawberry. Use else if ladder. First checkbox is selected, so checkbox 1 is checked. We'll set the text view as, so we'll use a set text function which will set the text for the text view. So text, and I'll write it over here, vanilla. I'll use another else if condition to check whether the second checkbox has been selected or not. So I'll use the object of that, so checkbox 1 is checked, if that is selected, I'll set the text available in the text view to strawberry. So text view dot set text function, which will help us to set the text for the text view object. Use strawberry. If none of the checkbox are selected, I'll set the text as what's your flavor. So we are done with it. So now we are done with creating a function. We'll map this function to the checkboxes so that whenever a checkbox is checked or unchecked, these functions will be called. So for that, I'll move to activity.main.xml. I'll choose the first checkbox and I'll see for the onClick function. So onClick is not available over here. So I click this two-way arrow button to view all the attributes. I'll click on this. So a lot of attributes are coming regarding this. So I'll check for the onClick. OnClick is available over here. I'll hit the three dot buttons. Okay, sorry. I'll click the drop down menu over here, and from that I'll choose the function which we have created, that is display choice. Same I'll do for the second checkbox. I'll click over here and then I'll choose a display choice function. Okay, so now we are done with the mapping part. For running our project, we'll click on the green button available over here. We'll click on it. We'll choose the device. In this particular project, I'm using Knox emulator, so I'll click OK. We'll start building the project and finally it will launch the activity into the emulator. So if I'm choosing vanilla, it is displaying me vanilla. If I'm choosing strawberry, it is displaying vanilla and strawberry because I have checked both of the checkboxes, vanilla as well as strawberry. Okay. If I'm choosing only strawberry, it will display me strawberry. If I'm unchecking both of the checkboxes, it will display what's your flavor. Thank you for watching.